W.R. Sam, 1760 Rena Street, Beaumont, Texas.
Good evening. I would like to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you before I say anything else. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. I'd also like to say congratulations to the police department and you all for sitting down and negotiating a decent contract. They seem to be pretty happy about it, and that's good. I've always said that you should be able, as adults, to sit down and get things done without having to go through any major ordeal. And so, undoubtedly, that you guys are beginning to do that, and I think that's fantastic. So, again, to the department, congratulations. I'd like to thank all of you for your services to the community, to the city, because it's very important. And 5 or 6 weeks ago, I sat in a meeting, a transportation meeting that was chaired by WL, and I listened to what you guys were thinking about and some of the changes that needs to be made and how you're going to improve it and how you're going to pay for it. And it was interesting, and you agreed on some things and I disagreed on some things, and so, you took it all in. But I sat through the whole meeting, and one of the things that came out of the meeting was that you provide service for this city and this community. And undoubtedly, you've done an excellent job and a fair job so far. And we'd like to see that continue. And, of course, the young man from the tennis thing said that, there's some areas that need it more than others. And so that's very important that we concentrate on those areas and make those things happen. And I'm sure all of you are about that and is attempting to do that. And not until you need one of these services that you see the importance of it. And it's at 9 o'clock at night when your wife call you and tell you there's no water pressure at home, you get like, oh my God, what's up now? Lucky enough, thank God, because I just had the problem a week before, that it was the city's problem. It wasn't mine, thank God. But I was happy to know that I could pick up the phone and call. And I'm up here to say thank you to a few people. And I guess I'd like to start with Mr. Tomei, because I get quite a few calls, and his department is always on top of things and getting things done. And it's always important. But again, until you need that service, until your wife calls you and tell you there's no water pressure in the house, you don't really get too excited about it. But when it happened to me, and those people was out there at 9, 10 o'clock at night, trying to figure out what is the problem, why you have no water pressure. And it was, of course, a relief for me to find out that it was the city and not me, thank God. So I want to say thank you to of course, Dr. Tomei and some other people, that Frank Jackson, who works in the city or works in that department, that does an excellent job on taking care of the things that we need to. Denise, who's always there to answer the calls and make sure things get there. But the crew that came out that night and the day after to correct the problem, special thanks is Reginald Ortwine, Daniel Owens, and Stanley Donald. So I want to say thank you because it was a job well done. And again, Dr. Tomei, thank you. And let's remember that we are here to serve and to work with the community. And I think we're doing a good job. And let's see if we can't even make it better. Even Kyle.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Salmon. We appreciate you calling the employees' names because they do a good job. I had the same thing happen at my home one time, and I remember Frank for sure. He was out there till about midnight because there was a main broke. So we appreciate it. They do a wonderful job in our water department, led by Dr. Tomei. Is there another citizen who wishes to speak today?
Louis Vaughn, 9615 Mape Street, Beaumont, Texas.
I've had the distinct opportunity and privilege to teach in the Bible college. Last week we were talking about, from the Old Testament, this country named Edom. Edom was a very strong country. It overtook Judah, and he went into Judah and ravished Judah, took his land, his most precious property, and just ravished it. Judah began and wanted to leave. And as they began to leave, the Edomites decided, well, we'll devastate you now. And they began to do wicked things and violent things toward Judah. the prophet came along, and the prophet prophesied to them. And he told them, he says, yeah, you have this city, and you think it's so fortified, and you're so wealthy that you cannot be touched. Because they began to even mock God. And God sent the prophet, and he told them, he said, because of your pride, and you're lifted up in your pride, and because of what you've done to Judah, to Jerusalem, he says you will suffer for that. I just come today to say that that's what has happened in my community. My homestead, 3930 Anita, which is next door to your poster child that you've used to do what you're doing over in that community, 3940 Anita, my auntie, Doris Vaughn Pollard, which is also the matriarch of our family. That what has been done over there, it's not correct. It's been done for 3 reasons. First of all, for greed. Second of all, because of hatred of people in that area. And third, because some of the people who help with that has a self-hatred of themselves. Again, 3930 Anita, there was an incident that took place where they went in with the garbage truck, tore off part of the house, and now has the audacity to say, we're not going to repair it. That's wrong. Not only have you raped the area, but now you're coming back to devastate it. Well, that's my homestead. That's my aunt, again, who is the matriarch of the Vaughn clan. I come today to say, you're not going to just tear us up. You're not going to just destroy our properties like that without us saying something. I quit coming here. And the reason is because I see where you were and who all that was doing what they were doing. And my thing was, okay, so be it. But now you want to add insult to injury and come in now and destroy our properties over there, our homes, and say it's okay? That's my homestead. I'm going to tell you more about it in days to come. The reason why, when my grandfather and them built over there, there was no railroad track, there was no Wilson warehouse, there was no electric company, there was none of that. There was not even, 11th Street wasn't even 11th Street, really, it was a trail.
Thank you, Mr. Vaughn.
That's all I have, Mayor.
Is there another citizen who wishes to speak today? If there is no one, we will now recess into executive